TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello.
Well, this week we'll talk about Israel finally got its government, the sixth time Netanyahu has been able to put together a coalition, and many other things. But first, we want to say thank you. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. It is an amazing thing to be able to be a part of it through you guys and your help and your involvement to be able to help these people here in the state of Israel, feeding them, giving them the food they so desperately need. It's an amazing thing every week to show up with a box of food that literally helps, and sometimes maybe even life-saving for some of these people, for an entire family, to give all the food that they need for the week, every single week. And we've been doing it now for a while and grown recently because of you guys.
Yeah.
We, just like we said from the beginning, it's a leap of faith, and we continue to make those leaps of faith, knowing that God and you guys will answer the call of helping these precious people here. It, like we always say too, underneath all of our videos, we have links to Patreon and to the Support Us page, or you can go to thegoldenreport.com and go to the Support Us page there if you feel like being a part of this wonderful thing we're doing here in the state of Israel.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Yes, let's do it. In order to sign the coalition agreement and allow Netanyahu to put together his sixth government, Itamar Ben-Gvir demanded to have a new law allowing a death penalty for convicted terrorists. This has never been done before in Israel.
Yes, we've never had the death penalty for anything in the state of Israel. This has been on the books. People have been talking about this for a long time. Everyone has different ideas. I know you think the death penalty is a good thing. I think I'm not against it. I just don't think it would fix any problems.
You don't think it's effective?
Yeah, I don't think it's effective because if terrorists now know that they're going to get caught, they have the death penalty. I don't see how it's going to bring down the amount of terrorists that we have all the time, because they're willing to die for the cause anyway. I always thought it would be better to put punishment on their families. I know it sounds a little extreme, but like maybe who knows? It go as far as to kick them out of the country.
Yes.
Deport them.
Yeah.
Anyone who is a family member, a close family member, not distant family, because you can't go too far with it, a close family member of anyone who was a terrorist, convicted terrorist. Because right now, the way it is, the terrorists, they do what they do because their families get money, respect. It's big respect for the families of these people. Yes. And the terrorist knows that if he does this, he's doing good by his family. So if that changes, my opinion.
And still, latest terrorists, they're not willing to die, I think, like the one before, a few years ago. They not expose themselves anymore. They try to put the explosive and run away and try to. They're not willing to die as they used to before.
That's true.
So maybe, and realistically speaking, that's the only thing we have right now that we can do. Right? We cannot punish the families.
Well, we'll see. If Ben-Gvir is able to get this law passed, we'll see if it makes any difference. By the way, what?
And also, it's going to be cheaper for a tax payment. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
We're paying for them. We're paying for them sitting in our jail, prison for so many years.
Yep, absolutely.
They have a better life than they used to have before.
That's true. Well, we'll see. Like we said, Ben-Gvir looks like he's going to be making a lot of changes around here. Well, our new government is now finally allowing the growth of the Jewish villages in the Judea and Samaria areas. They started by giving 300 million shekels for the budget. Already, the Biden administration is trying to stop Netanyahu from moving forward with this. It's ridiculous how much the Biden administration is getting involved. We're going to get into something else that happened, but connected to this that happened this week. It's just the administration, the Biden administration, for some reason, they way overstood their bounds in this 4 years that they were in office, because it seems like every little thing that we do, Biden has something to say about it, to tell us what to do, what not to do, who to allow to live where. I mean, why does the Biden administration feel like they can tell Jews where they can live and where they can't live in their own land? Could you imagine if someone told you say you live in Texas. Could you imagine someone told you, well, we decided, Israel's decided that you Americans that live in Texas can't live in Texas no more. You got to give Texas back to Mexico. So move out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Well, how
Well.
But one thing, them saying it, but another thing is the problem is when you have the wrong type of people in control in the government, they listen to what America says.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is something. The head of the Mossad made a public statement from the president house about Iran. They have been able to step up their speed at which they are enriching uranium, and Russia is now giving technology and weapons to Iran. Yeah, this was the head of the Mossad. The head of the Mossad, who usually the Mossad doesn't come out and say things very much, but recently with events with Iran, they have been because of the urgency to make the world wake up and look and see what's going on. Urgency for two reasons. One, so the world would step in and also do what needs to be done. And urgency so that when Israel steps up and does what needs to be done, that the world won't come down on Israel.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
So
So it's a big deal, and that's why the head of the Mossad all of a sudden is talking when they usually don't talk.
Yeah. At the beginning of the week, an Arab from Kfar Qasim called the police for help. When they showed up, the Arab set a trap and tried to kill the police officers. This is a new tactic for terrorist attacks that we haven't seen before. So they always come with new stuff.
This is really something. It really is something, this tactic. It really is. I mean, police officers.
By the way, they denied.
Yeah,
They
well,
say
it's all video. You can see the whole thing. I'm sure
Yeah.
if you looked it up on the internet, you'll find clips of it, of the guy telling the cop, come down the alley, and then he comes out the corner and just starts shooting.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to kill him by shooting, got in the car and tried to run him over.
It actually was a miracle. Thank God.
Absolutely,
He had to
amen.
stop in his weapon, because they was very close and he was just shooting at him, tried to shoot at him, and two bullets were stopped in the 2 times it was stopped.
Yeah, his gun got jammed.
Yeah, jammed.
Yeah. But this really is something. I mean, could you imagine, poor cops, you're calling because someone needs help, and you come and it's a trap to kill you. A U.S. Traffic police pulling over people have always dealt with being shot at and everything, but I don't think that any police force has dealt with people purposely calling them for help and setting a trap just to get them. I mean, it really is something. The Israeli Border Patrol has opened a new unit to deal with the Arabs terrorists that have been going into Israeli farms to burn and destroy all the fields, animals, and equipment. They are arresting Arabs in the act almost every night. So this is great that they're doing this. I mean, it's been, we talk about the terrorist attacks of where people get shot and killed, and because those are the ones that are more relevant to talk about. But we seem to, like we talk about many times, if we talked about every attack, terrorist activity that happened, that's all we do every day, not once a week, every day on this channel.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of channel we want to put out. We want to, but anyway, so we just give the highlights. But so one of the other things that terrorists have been doing is this agricultural terrorism, if you want to call it that, where they go in and they burn the tractors, they burn the fields, they kill the animals, whatever kind of farm it is, and just to make damage to stop Israel basically from growing its own food and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that's been going on and on and on for a while. But finally, the Border Patrol, the Israeli Border Patrol, opened up a special unit to deal with them. And it seems like every night they're catching 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in the act every night. So hopefully that'll put an end to it pretty quick. On Sunday, an F-35 fighter jet crashed for unknown reasons in the U.S. Israel grounded 11 of our F-35s, F-35Ss, because that's the Israeli version, after the U.S. recommended it. Israel is good at fixing these kinds of problems. It won't be long before America asks Israel for their advice on the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened many times where America gives Israel their best and top fighter jet, and we do a couple things, and they're like, "Hey, why didn't you tell us what you did there? Better that way." So I just thought it was interesting. So to talk about that something happened in America caused us to ground our fighter jets. Well, finally, Netanyahu was able to put together the coalition in the government. On Thursday, we had our swearing-in ceremony for the new coalition. This time, we didn't have any Arab members that refused to stand for the national anthem, as well as refused to take photos with the Israeli flag. All the ministers are selected for their positions. This may be the longest time it took for Netanyahu to do this out of the 6 times that he has been in this same position, putting his coalition together for the government. Well, we talked about it before, why it took him so long. First of all, I thought he should took his time from the beginning. But the reason it took him so long is, remember, we told you some of the demands some of these people have had was insane. It was crazy. Like turn electricity off every day, once a week, every week for Shabbat. That was one of the religious things. It's just insane.
Well, it sounds bad, but the radical religious parties, they really just want too much. They ask for too much.
Well, I wouldn't I wouldn't say just them though. I think,
well, the other, we have also the Ben Gvir and Smotrich that ask things. But those religious, like I don't know, they just ask for ridiculous things, okay? Ben Gvir and Smotrich, I think they ask for national security, emergency, important things. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit too much, but at least it's important. But religious people, the radical religious people, they ask for things that, in my opinion, it's not a matter of right now we have to have them. Because we have problems with, much important problems to have to solve before. But it's just my opinion, Okay.
Well, no, I think,
Benny Gantz, the defense minister, until Tuesday is trying to hurry up and pass a law making the Jewish community in Homesh, the Samaria area, to be evicted. Just like our left-wing politicians have always liked to do, taking Jews out of their homes. And he trying to do it. It's like few days that he left in the. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Well, that's why about till Tuesday, because he has until Tuesday to do it, to make this Homesh place illegal for Jews to live there. This is what I was talking about. We'll get back to when we started off this broadcast. We talked about how the new government is giving a budget to grow in these areas with the Jewish homes. And in the last minute, Benny Gantz is trying to take a whole nother neighborhood, a little village, I guess you would call it. And the story behind this village is so sad too. It's, it really is. It was under terrorist attack, and the terrorist attack made it get more in the news. So after being attacked by terrorists, the government, this left-wing government, wanted to punish them even more and kick them all out of their house. Right. So it really is.
It's dangerous to live there. So just leave. Leave and give it to the Arabs. They got what they wanted.
And that's the whole state of Israel. Right? The terrorist that made the bombs in the attack where he exploded them at the bus stations in different parts of Jerusalem last month was caught on Wednesday. He studied engineering at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Now the Shabak is looking into all of his friends that studied with him. It just goes to show you, we teach them how to do it.
He's an Israeli.
Israeli Arab, and we teach them how to do it, and then they turn around on us. This is the big one last month that was that Iran also had CCTV had hacked into our cameras so that they could record it and broadcast the attacks, meaning they were obviously a part of it with this guy. It's ridiculous, It's so sad that Iran was able to get someone that was in our university,
and he said that he was planning to make such a much bigger damage. He attached
in his own voice. You heard him. You could hear him saying.
He just talking. And he
said,
I wanted to kill as many Jews as I can.
Possible.
And I planned when the the one that comes, the medic and paramedics, everybody came. I wanted to do second explosion with the gas balloon attached to it, so the explosion would be much like second.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. Thank God. Yeah.
So it's so, you know, we know the truth that they just want to kill us. They have nothing other in their mind other than killing us. It's not
And this one has something to lose. That's the thing.
But we know we know that's the way they act. But it's different knowing it and hearing it from their own voice saying, I just wanted to kill as many people as possible, you know, under interrogation. He said it flat out. You know?
Yeah.
This week, the king of Jordan spoke out against Israel on CNN, basically telling Israel to take it easy on the Arabs in light of our new coalition. You know, they realize that we got some right-wing coalition coming that they're getting a little worried about. But this is a bluff, and their biggest fear has always, and will always be that we might one day say, if you care so much about the Palestinians, we'll take them back, take them, you know. You know, if you look into history, 67, when Jordan was receding back from the 67 border lines, you can see how fast they receded and ran away so quick. Came back to their original borders, shut the borders, said, okay, because it was known that the king of Jordan back then was so worried that we'd tell him, here you go, take them with you, you know. So it really is. Well, you got anything you want to say?
Well, we finished Hanukkah, and that was a blessing. I felt like this was a really blessed Hanukkah and good, and we added 2 more families to our...
Yes, maybe a third coming.
Maybe a third, yeah. So I hope we'll continue to grow and help more and more people. Thank you again, guys. That's all.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. And until next week,
Bye-bye.
God bless.